Some people don't lose years, they lose moments. Morning becomes tasks, evening becomes recovery, and somehow that becomes the whole week. You're not failing at life, you're just doing it. So tell me, are you still processing your days, or have you finally started living them? Most people don't avoid life on purpose. They postpone it politely. They say, when things get easier, then I'll start living. But easier is a mirage. There is always a next deadline, a next bill, a next goal. And slowly, without noticing, the to-do list becomes your identity. Not because you're weak, because your brain learned a rule. Finish first, feel later. That's why you can achieve something big and feel almost nothing. Not ungrateful, not broken, just trained to skip your own experience. You drink coffee without tasting it. You talk without really listening. You rest, but your mind keeps running. A human doing is always moving. A human being is actually here. Here's the quiet villain, autopilot. Autopilot makes days efficient and life invisible. Your brain adapts fast. A win becomes normal. A raise becomes routine. A new purchase becomes background noise. So the mind whispers, next goal, next upgrade, next milestone. This is the hedonic treadmill, chasing a feeling the brain keeps resetting, and modern life feeds it. Notifications train your attention to scatter. Constant switching feels productive, but it fractures presence and drains your nervous system. You're awake, but not with the moment. And what you don't fully feel, you don't fully remember. That's how months disappear, not in tragedy, in blur. Psychology points to a simple truth. Life is not measured in hours, it's measured in attention. When attention is whole, time feels rich. That's why flow, true immersion, feels like being fully alive. In flow, you're doing something and you're also inside it. Another skill is savoring. It's the ability to let a good moment register instead of rushing past it. Mindfulness is similar, attention trained on purpose. Not to escape responsibilities, but to stop your life from becoming a background tab. Even a few minutes of presence each day can soften stress, steady emotion, and return you to yourself. Listen closely. You don't need a new life. You need a new relationship with attention, because attention is the doorway to feeling alive. Doing isn't the enemy. Unconscious doing is. If you can't taste your coffee, you're not drinking coffee, you're completing a step. So tomorrow morning, start small. 2 minutes. Hold the cup. Notice warmth in your hands. Notice the aroma. Take the first sip slowly. Tell your brain, this counts. Presence is not laziness, it's training. And then give your day one mindful checkpoint. When you walk somewhere, feel your feet touch the ground. When you open a door, notice the sound, the movement, the moment changing. When you wash your hands, feel the water and breathe once fully. If you're always switching tabs, your mind never lands. Stress rises because your brain keeps reorienting again and again. So choose single task moments. One email, then a breath. One task, then a stretch. Not perfection, just presence. You don't need a different schedule. You need different attention inside the same schedule. That's how you step off the treadmill without running away from your life. On the way home, choose one small upgrade. Not the fastest route, the route with sky, trees, or quiet streets. Not because it's efficient, because it reminds your nervous system life exists outside the checklist. And in one conversation today, put the phone away. Just for a few minutes. Listen to understand, not to respond. Look at the person's face. Let your attention stay in one place. You'll feel something return. Connection, warmth, reality. Now hear this again. You don't need a new life. You need new attention. because attention decides what becomes memory, and memory becomes meaning. At night, ask one question. What was good today? Not to force positivity, not to pretend everything is fine, but to stop your mind from skipping your own life. Let one good moment replay for 10 seconds. A laugh, a kind message, a warm meal, a small win. Savoring is how you teach your brain to notice what it usually ignores. And when your mind says, "I'll live when things calm down," answer calmly, "This is the life. This is the moment. I'm here." Repeat the core lesson with me. You don't need a new life. You need a new relationship with attention. Again, same responsibilities, different presence. Same work, different awareness. Same day, but you actually arrive inside it. Because the goal is not to do less. The goal is to feel more of what you're already doing. One breath before the next task. One look at the sky between meetings. One full bite of food. One honest pause. And if you forget, that's normal. Autopilot is strong, so use an anchor phrase, quietly, in your mind. Return. Return to your body. Return to your senses. Return to the moment. That single word can bring you back again and again until it becomes who you are. Imagine living the same life, but actually feeling it. Same responsibilities, different presence. You don't have to disappear to find yourself. You just have to stop abandoning the moment. Make this a quiet vow. When I notice I'm rushing, I return. With calm, quiet discipline. One breath, one full sip, one real listen, one look at the sky. These are not small things. They are the skill of living, practiced in ordinary moments. Two people drink the same coffee. One gulps it while scrolling, the other takes 10 calm seconds and tastes it. Same drink, different life. Because life isn't where you go, it's what you can feel while you're there. And you can start right now. You don't need a dramatic escape to start living. You don't need a perfect routine or a clean calendar or a future version of yourself with fewer problems, because life doesn't begin after the work is done. It begins inside the work, when you actually arrive. Most people think they're waiting for time, but what they're really waiting for is permission. Permission to slow down for 10 seconds without guilt. Permission to feel something without calling it unproductive. Permission to notice that today already contains what they've been postponing. And here's the truth that stings gently. If you can't be present in small moments, you won't suddenly become present in big ones. A vacation won't fix it, more money won't fix it, a new relationship won't fix it, because the habit isn't your schedule. The habit is how your mind leaves and doesn't return. So keep your responsibilities, keep your ambition. Just stop letting your mind treat every day like a hallway to somewhere else. Tonight before sleep, don't scroll to numb the day. Instead, ask yourself one quiet question. What did I actually feel today? Not what you completed, not what you handled, what you felt. Maybe it was a moment of laughter. Maybe it was the relief of closing your door. Maybe it was sunlight on your face for 2 seconds. Let that moment stay with you a little longer than usual. Because one day, you won't remember the emails, you won't remember the errands, you'll remember the human moments, the warmth, the connection, the small beauty. Life isn't preparation for living, it's happening now. And the simplest power you have is to be here for it.